Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 52 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one major aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans are truly looking forward to is, of course, the return of Palpatine, also known as Darth Sidious, portrayed by Ian McDiarmid once more at the very end of the Skywalker saga, which really is a big deal in order to really end things off, because this really has to be done correctly by JJ in order to really satisfy the fans, and in order for it to really resonate with fans around the world, it has to have a lot of emotion involved with this particular scene. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions for Episode 9, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be inside and outside of Palpatine's throne room, where it's explained that Kylo Ren is said to be fighting the Knights of Ren outside of Palpatine's throne. It's described that one of the sequences is said to involve Rey handing Kylo Ren Leia's lightsaber through a Force bond, where Rey is way below the surface of Exegol and Kylo Ren is above. This is where Kylo is said to destroy each and every Knight of Ren with Leia's lightsaber. However, Kylo Ren is beat up and bruised from the Knights of Ren during his battle against them. The next describes a sequence in which Rey is said to be standing in front of Palpatine, where Sidious realizes that Kylo Ren is entering his throne room. This is where it's said that both Rey and Ren are described to ignite their sabers side by side, and are both in a defensive stance to fight Sidious. This is where Palpatine begins to laugh that they both have just made a crucial mistake, where all what Palpatine needed was for all three of them to be in the same room to use the Force conduit technique. This is where Palpatine is said to aim his hands at Rey and Kylo, draining their energy, where it's said to visually de-age Palpatine, allowing him to walk with ease, where all that stored energy and power from Kylo and Rey is said to change Palpatine's appearance. Now, the overload of the energy allows him to use the Force Storm technique by raising his arms in the sky and destroying many ships above with Force lightning that takes over the skies, causing the ships to lose power and crash into the surface of Exegol. The sequence eventually progresses to when Rey and Ren use their sabers to block Palpatine's Force lightning. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this sounds like a very action-packed sequence between Rey, Ren, and of course Palpatine. It's pretty safe to say that at this point in time, Kylo Ren is not Kylo Ren anymore, he is Ben Solo. So what I like about this particular sequence, though, is that it does dive more into the Force, and what I mean by that is Rey is able to literally toss Leia's lightsaber from below the surface of the world of Exegol to Kylo Ren, who is above the surface. So this once again goes over to the Force bond that we saw in, of course, The Last Jedi between both Rey and Ren inside of the hut on Ahch-To, where they are able to touch hands, where now they are literally able to toss objects through space and time, or whatever have you, in order for them to transfer objects from one location to another location. It's kind of like imagining it like this. Somebody else is in a building holding Leia's lightsaber, and the other person is outside the building, and without aiming at all, Rey is able to toss that saber to Kylo Ren. So basically, she's able to literally just transfer the saber from one dimension to the other, from what it seems. That's how this, evolved version of the Force bond is said to work. In fact, it's how the flash fights are said to work as well. When you see the third and final trailer, when both Rey and Ren are destroying the Darth Vader melted helmet, Rey is really not in that room, but she's actually engaging in a flash fight from below the surface of Kijimi. So that's a very interesting point that I think a lot of people need to think about. Now, I want to go over the Force conduit technique. Now, this Force conduit technique used by Palpatine is to drain the energy of both Rey and Kylo Ren, also known as Ben Solo, to the point where Palpatine has so much energy that it literally de-ages him. How far does it de-age him? We're not quite sure. It's said to revert him back to how he looked in Revenge of the Sith, Not quite sure if that means how he was before the deformities or after the deformities, because in Episode 9 he's going to look far older in design than how he appeared in Return of the Jedi, which is going to be pretty wild and crazy to see. So the fact that they are making him 100 plus years old, you know, the fact that, you know, they are making him literally just an ancient being in The Rise of Skywalker, to the point where he's going to revert to how he was, at the very minimum, how he appeared when he fought Yoda in Revenge of the Sith, is going to be very interesting to see on the big screen for sure, where he's going to have, you know, a lot of strength, a lot of stamina, and a lot of new force abilities, and a lot of fight sequences in the movie against Rey and Ren. So that's another thing to look forward to for sure, by Ian McDiarmid himself, who portrayed the role of Palpatine in those scenes. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.